нашата идея желаем да бъде максимално...
Да направим почивка и понеже не можем да го гласуваме, аз предлагам да действаме последния начин. Следващата презентация по програма трябва да бъде 3D моделиране в електрото. Много това си спомням. Не е ли? Екипа същия ли поне? Добре, все пак моето предложение беше екипа, който следва да презентира, да каже сега да направим 15 минутна почивка или да продължим. Да разбирам, че там няма храна, по-добре да приключваме. Добре, заповядайте тогава. Минутна почивка.
Hello dear guests, hello dear organizers. My name is Stanimir Lambov and I am here tonight with...
Hello everyone, my name is Vasil and Mitev and we are 12 graders from the local vocational high school of electrical engineering and electronics.
And we have come tonight to show you the process of 3D printing, as you can see over there. So without further ado, let's begin by asking the question, what is 3D printing?
So the concept of 3D printing is that you can turn any computer-aided design, or CAD for short, into a three-dimensional actual object that we can fold. 3D printing is done by layering material on top of each other to create an object. We also call that additive manufacturing. Of course, to be able to 3D print, first thing we need is a 3D printer. You can get a reliable printer from somewhere around 450 and 550 level.
And here in this slide, we're going to look at some elements in the 3D printer. Let's start with this up here. This is filament. Filament is the material used by 3D printer to create objects. There are a lot of different types, and it's mostly provided by the printer's manufacturer. Next, we have the extruder. The extruder is the part that ejects material in a liquid or semi-liquid form to deposit it in successive layers. Thank you.
We also have the layers. All layers are individual planar thin sections of the object being created. Each layer is glued on top of the last layer, and all the layers are being glued on top of each other, so we can get the structure of our object. And down there we have the printer bed, which is the flat part of the 3D printer where our object stands during the process.
So, to get the object we want to print, we first need to make a model or take one from the internet. There are a lot of free libraries online. You can go and check for the libraries. We recommend to use, if you want to make a model yourself, we recommend using Tinkercad because it's first of all free, and They offer beginner lessons for people that want to learn 3D modeling with their software.
Of course, there are some industrial grade softwares, models such as like Fusion 360. They are mainly used by large companies for machinery or prototyping. After we made our model, we exported as an .stl or OBJ file and continue on to the next phase, which is
slicing. And slicing basically means we take our 2D model and we slice it into hundreds or thousands of layers, and then can be exported with the STL or OBJ format. We do that with the help of a software called slicing software. And from the slicing software, we can actually edit most settings of our 3D printer, such as speed, temperature, and thickness, or the inflow of the objects. We have a representation of how the model is sliced. It's first a model, then an STL file, and then it's sliced into G-code layers.
So G-code file is not something used only for 3D printing. Other machines rely on .G-code files as well, and they can be viewed and edited in any text editor, on your computer. Here we have an example of a .G-code file. It's very long, and it's very long, as you can see. And basically, we have the coordinates for the 3D printer to know where to print our model. Also, we have an example of Stanimir's actual 3D printer printing a Flexi Rexi. I'll show it.
Okay, now this is a flex figurine made from plastic, and I have some models over here. I want to spread in the audience. You can look at them, you can pass it around. Let me and Vasil just give them to you. So here, pass them around, please. Here we go. And this one. And you get this one. Here we go. Just pass them around, look at them. Please return them to me when you're done. And actually, we have one more thing for our dear organizer over there. Can you come here, please? Thank you. So I made a 3D model of your logo, the Burgas logo for you. That's for you. That's for you. And we have one more for this one over there. And I also have an example to show you, which is for you as well. This is a failed one, as you can see. It's kind of yeah, but it's this one. It's for you, so you can have it as I can make another one anytime I want.
The 3D printing technology is used a lot in the current industry, and the demand will be even higher in the future. Some industries rely on 3D printing for mass production, while others use it for prototyping their products. Here we have some examples, such as our car engine. We have multiple printers mass producing objects or models, and we have some prototypes on the very right picture.
And here we have some different examples of filaments. As I said earlier, filaments is the material we use for 3D printing. They come in a variety of different types and colors. Can you please? Thank you. Here we have an example of the wooden one. You can make it look like it's made from wood, which is really nice. You can actually use it. Instead of going in the forest and cutting down a tree and then carpeting it around to make it look an owl, you can just get this type of material and you can print one. Next we have the flexible one. The flexible one is one that you can bend or flex or stretch, I guess. And then we have the dissolvable one. It's amazing. This one just dissolves in water. You can use it like a support for your other models, for your more complex models. and then you can just put it in water, wash it, and this filament just goes away. It's very nice.
Now let's look at some examples of the 3D printing industry in our modern world. Here's an example of a giant 3D printer printing a house, and yes, you can actually print a house with a 3D printer. This is something that is not so used today, but maybe in the future there will be no more needed builders or people to make houses. We can only install a 3D printer and it will print our house. Here are some tools made by a 3D printer. And here is an actual aerospace turbine, which is more efficient and more cheaper than actual one because its materials are lighter and cheaper, of course.
And here we have an actual model of an architectural building. Some companies actually make their maquettes or models with a 3D printer so they can envision the building and how it will look in a small scale without costing that much. So here in the medical fields, you can use 3D printing to create prosthetics, artificial prosthetics for disabled people and people that got hurt really bad and lost some limbs, which is kind of sad, but our world is just what it is. And now we have something interesting. Some museums actually use 3D printing to reconstruct the parts of fossils they receive from archaeologists. And they display them like that.
Yes, this is it. Thank you for that. We hope that our presentation has made clear what 3D printing is about and how the modern world uses it for its different purposes.
And do you have any questions? Okay, thank you. Oh, I have a question. Have I tried to make him my own filament? No, but I've seen the blueprint of the machine to make one, and I am planning to make one in the future because I actually drink a lot of bottled water, and these bottles I just throw them. I can use them. Yep, yep.
How would you make the flexible parts? Were they printed already?
Yeah. Yeah, they print. I think we have the example of the little dinosaur I gave the audience. So as you can see right here, the joints where it's flexible are printing, are made as it prints, and when you just place it a little, they just disconnect and they can now be flexible.
Okay,
Thank you.
I just want to say one thing. 3D printing is actually some very ecological for the planet because we can use plastic waste from the oceans and we can recycle them to make our filament, which then we can create into our amazing objects and models, and of course houses someday.
Благодарим за презентацията. Не крадете моделите, моля. Ако имате заявки, предполагам, че момчета могат да ги изпълнят, така че до бизнеса после смисъл това. Book location.